Our trip to Victoria, British Columbia begins with departure from Los Angeles on WestJet, a Canadian airline that made an intermediate stop in Edmonton, Alberta, and from there direct to Victoria. We stayed at the James Bay Inn, where the book Beauty Tips from Moose Jaw began its travel across Canada. This book is easy reading, and I can highly recommend it to anyone traveling in Canada to understand something of the history of the country. Very nearby the inn is located the Emily Carr House, the historic home of a famous Canadian artist. About 3 city blocks in the other direction is the Capitol building of British Columbia, where Parliament meets, and about a block beyond that is the City Harbor. Here is our tour guide of the Capitol building, who in his off hours is a stand-up comedian at a club. And this is the room where Parliament meets. He made it very clear to all of us that Canada is a constitutional monarchy with Queen Elizabeth of England being head of state. What follows here are examples of the beautiful stained glass throughout the building, including the coat of arms of the province of British Columbia. Our next stop was for lunch at the Union Club of British Columbia nearby Parliament. My club in Pasadena, California, the University Club of Pasadena, has a correspondent relationship with this club, so that they issued me a temporary membership so that we could enjoy a meal on their premises. This is a look around the Union Club dining room, followed by a look around their lounge on another floor. Our next stop after lunch was to visit the famous Empress Hotel, which is several blocks away, where the Queen Elizabeth once stopped to have her afternoon tea, and many visitors do that same thing. The next day we spent visiting Victoria Harbor, which is located in front of Parliament and very nearby. The Canada 150 sign nearby where we had our lunch refers to the British North America Act of 1867, which upgraded Canada from a colony of Great Britain to a dominion of Great Britain with self-government of domestic affairs. The people of Canada remained British subjects. The British North America Act was amended in 1982 by the British Parliament, relinquishing its power to control Canada's foreign affairs. With amendments, this is now the Constitution Act of Canada, and Canadians are now citizens of Canada. Canada thereby became a democratic constitutional monarchy with Queen Elizabeth of England, its head of state, represented by Governor General in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada's capital. We had lunch and then boarded a small harbor tour boat that was surprisingly small and held about 13 passengers as we went around the harbor and saw the sights, with the captain of the boat acting as tour guide. There were many small craft and houseboats. Next day, we explored the city of Victoria, which is a small city and quite livable and tourist friendly. On our last day before heading on to Vancouver, British Columbia, we explored the Butchart Gardens. We left our inn and walked about 3 blocks to the Parliament building where there was a bus station with buses that go throughout the area. So our transportation issue was minimal and we truly enjoyed our visit to Butchart Gardens. On our last day, we took a bus to Nanaimo and boarded a ferry boat across the Strait of Georgia to Vancouver, British Columbia, which was the next stop on our travel.